Welcome children to our next online class of biology for class 10. We will continue with our chapter Human Evolution. In the previous classes, you have learnt about the Lamarck's and Darwin's theory of evolution. Today's class, let us start with the story of man's origin and evolution as it is recorded in the rocks in the form of fossils. Carl Linnaeus gave the scientific name Homo sapiens. In the animal kingdom, Homo sapiens or modern man belongs to the order primates along with monkeys and apes. The man is supposed to have originated from some ape-like ancestor about 15 to 20 million years ago. These ape-like ancestors serve as a common ancestor for both apes and humans. Now, going from an ape-like form to human form required many major changes like bipedal locomotion, increase in cranial capacity, loss of jaw power, development of chin, reduction in size of canines, increase in height, erect posture, reduction in body hair, and few more. So before learning about the human ancestors, it will be good if we start with the pre-human ancestor, the Ramapithecus. The Ramapithecus walked erect on its hind feet and is known only by few teeth and some fragments of jaw which were obtained as fossils. The different stages of human ancestors during evolution are termed as australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthals, cro-magnon, and Homo sapiens sapiens, that is the modern man. We will start with the australopithecus first. Now they were about 120 centimeters tall, that is 3.5 to 4 feet in height, and their cranial capacity ranged from 450 to 600 centimeter cube. That was very less brain capacity. It walked nearly straight. The teeth were strikingly man-like because the dental arch was a smoothly rounded parabola, as you can see in the skull picture which is given on the screen. Then the canines did not project beyond the level of the other teeth, and the simian gap, that is the gap which is present between the incisors and the canines on each side of the jaw, was absent. As you can see, the dentition is very clear. Here the canines are not protruding outwards, there is no simian gap, and it is a very smooth rounded parabola. And also they had a protruding outward face. As you can see in the picture also, the chin was absent and the eyebrow ridges projected over the eyes. So this was the human ancestor Australopithecus. After that came the Homo habilis, which represented the first man-like ancestor. They were about 150 centimeters tall with cranial capacity ranging about 680 to 735 centimeter cube. They showed the bipedal locomotion and a large head and a less protruding face. Their body was covered with hair and the dentition showed small canine like that of the modern man. The canines were very small in case of the Homo habilis. Then came the Homo erectus, which were the first ancestors who hunt animals and they used fire. They walked fully upright and their pelvis was more bowl shaped. The Homo erectus were called so because they stood erect and the proportion of arms and legs resembled that of the modern man. Their forehead was receding, jaws were still projecting and the chin was absent. Their body size had increased about 120 to 150 centimeter. They were about 5 to 5.5 feet. And their cranial capacity again increased from the Homo habilis, which is around 800 to 1125 centimeters cube. Then came the Neanderthal man. They were the successor of the Homo erectus. They had a height of about 160 centimeters. They were properly 5.5 feet people. Their cranial capacity was about 1450 centimeter cube. They exhibited characters like absolute bipedalism, large head, broad, flat, and sloping forehead. As you can see in the skull portion also and in the picture too, that how their forehead was sloping and flat. They had a prominent eyebrow ridges, almost no chin, and less hairs on the body. The Homo sapiens is believed to have arisen from the main Neanderthal population and developed into cro-magnon. So these cro-magnon man, that is Homo sapiens, they were modern man, they were close to the modern man, and they lived mainly in Europe and were known as cro-magnons. They were much more advanced than the Neanderthals, and they were 5.5 to 6 feet in height. Their cranial capacity also was more than 1050, about 1600 centimeters cube. They had a large skull, broad face, rounded forehead, and a prominent chin. They also lacked eyebrow ridges, and their body was less hairy. The face was perfectly straight and strong-jawed with man-like dentition. They were swift-footed and cave-dwelling beings. Cro-Magnon made tools from finely chipped stones, and so they made very good hunters. Here are some tools which were used by the Cro-Magnon man. They did not know agriculture and domestication. Only they were good hunters, and they knew how to hide from the animals. Okay. So we can say that probably these Cro-Magnon man, they represented the transition between the Neanderthal man and the modern man. Okay. So now let us move on to the modern man. As you can see in the picture how the modern man, that is Homo sapiens sapiens, has evolved from the australopithecus to Homo habilis to Homo erectus to Homo sapiens, that is Neanderthals. And you can also see the cranial capacity, how it is increasing from australopithecus till the modern man. So it is believed that the man of today first appeared about 11,000 years ago in the region around the Caspian and Mediterranean Sea. They possess the following main characters like bipedal locomotion. They had upright head, eye facing in front, neck more mobile, cranial capacity ranging between 1450 to 1600 centimeter cube, straight limbs with hind limbs longer and forelimbs shorter, forehead steep, reduced brow ridges, well developed and prominent chin, hair on limbs and body highly reduced, and entirely erect posture. Thus, evolution of the modern man has been a continuous process. The modern man developed a logical and syllabic speech in order to communicate. He used metals to prepare metallic tools, ornaments, and utensils by smelting ores. He cultivated plants and domesticated animals of economic importance. He developed cities. Humans, they vastly expanded their numbers by doing the agriculture. They moved to permanent settlements and civilizations flourished. And children, the main is the scientific revolution which has come about, and as of today the humans have altered the world in a way that benefit them greatly. Okay, so that's all for today's class. We have finished this human evolution chapter. We'll start with the new chapter in the next class. Thank you, children.